In this new lesson of our course on electronics applied to refrigeration and air conditioning, we will study multi-speed alternating current fan motors, widely used in the indoor units of conventional split systems. Remember that in the description of this video, you will find the link to access the complete course on electronics in air conditioning. In addition, it is important to note that these motors are very common in traditional equipment due to their low cost and ease of control, making them a key component for maintenance and repair technicians. The operation of these motors is based on the generation of a rotating magnetic field in the stator when it is supplied with single-phase alternating current. This field induces currents in the rotor, generally of the squirrel cage type, generating the torque necessary to produce rotation. Unlike modern systems with inverter technology, speed variation in these motors is not achieved by modifying the frequency, but by energizing different taps of the winding. Each tap has its own electrical characteristics, such as resistance and inductance, which determine the motor behavior at each speed. In practice, this translates into speeds such as low, medium, and high, where a greater number of active turns results in lower speed and a higher internal voltage drop in the winding. From a connection standpoint, these motors have one common terminal and several additional terminals, one for each speed. The capacitor remains connected between the main winding and the auxiliary winding in order to generate the electrical phase shift necessary for starting and stable motor operation. Speed selection is carried out through relays or switches, producing a stepped control of airflow, noticeable both in sound level and thermal sensation. In many units, wire colors help identify their function, although this may vary depending on the manufacturer. Commonly, the common wire is usually white or black, while the speed wires may be identified as red for high, blue for medium, and yellow for low, although it is always necessary to confirm this with measurements. Remember again that in the video description you have access to the full course. In terms of performance, these motors have lower energy efficiency compared to more modern technologies, since they operate at a fixed frequency and do not adjust their speed according to the exact thermal demand, but instead work within defined ranges. This implies higher energy consumption, greater heat generation, and consequently a possible reduction in the system's service life. It is also important to consider that abrupt changes between speeds can generate current spikes, which over time may affect both the motor and the control components. To connect this type of motor without having the electrical diagram, it is recommended to follow the following procedure based on resistance measurements, which allows precise identification of the function of each conductor without relying on wire colors. A. Begin by measuring the electrical resistance between all possible pairs of motor wires without omitting any combination, using a multimeter set to the ohm scale. It is essential that the motor is completely disconnected from the power supply and at thermal rest to avoid measurement errors, since copper resistance varies with temperature. Before measuring, it is recommended to verify the internal resistance of the multimeter by shorting the test leads. Once all measurements have been taken, a set of reference values is obtained, for example, where low, medium, and high resistance values can be observed. These differences are key to the starting of the identification of the internal structure of the motor. From a technical standpoint, the highest resistance between two conductors usually corresponds to the longest electrical path inside the motor, that is, when current flows through the greatest number of turns due to the internal series connection of windings. However, this criterion should not be used in isolation, especially in motors with multiple speed taps, as it may lead to errors if all combinations are not analyzed. To correctly identify the function of the wires in a single-phase motor, the relationships between all measured resistances must be analyzed, not just their magnitude. This analysis makes it possible to differentiate between the main run winding, the auxiliary start winding, and the speed taps. Wires that belong to the same winding, as is the case with the different speeds of the run winding, satisfy a fundamental property. the resistance between two ends is equal to the sum of the partial resistances when there is an intermediate tap. This allows identifying which wires correspond to different taps of the same winding. That is, if a conductor corresponds to an intermediate tap of a winding, the following relationship holds. Total resistance equals partial resistance 1 plus partial resistance 2. By applying this principle, it is possible to arrange the wires from lowest to highest resistance with respect to a common point, which generally corresponds to the motor speeds. The lowest resistance is usually associated with high speed, since it implies fewer active turns, while the highest resistance corresponds to low speed. This relationship makes it possible to group the wires that belong to the same winding, no matter how many taps are present. Once grouped, it is possible to determine which wire corresponds to each speed by observing that lowest resistance equals highest speed, intermediate resistance equals medium speed, highest resistance equals low speed. Once the group corresponding to the run winding, speeds, is identified, the remaining wire, or the set that does not satisfy these relationships, corresponds to the auxiliary winding. This winding generally presents different resistance values and does not follow the same stepped tap pattern. The common point is determined as the conductor that participates consistently in the summation relationships between both windings, acting as a shared node within the internal circuit of the motor. In other words, it is the wire that has continuity with all the other motor wires with different resistance values, while the speed wires only show consistent relationships within their own group. This check is very useful when wire colors are not reliable. This method does not depend on identifying the highest or lowest resistance in isolation, but on the mathematical consistency between measurements, making it valid even in motors with multiple speeds or internal taps. To diagnose this type of motor, the following recommendations should be taken into account. A. With the equipment de-energized, verify the condition of the electrical connections, ensuring that no loose, corroded, or disconnected terminals are present, as these can cause voltage drops and operational failures. Also, check the condition of the wire insulation. With the equipment disconnected, manually verify that the fan shaft rotates freely, ruling out mechanical problems such as damaged bearings or shaft blockage. A locked shaft can cause overcurrent and damage to the windings. Remember that the capacitor can store electrical charge even when the equipment is disconnected. C. If the problem persists, check the condition of the capacitor. Disconnect it and measure its capacitance with a multimeter set to microfarads, comparing the obtained value to the one specified on the label. A deviation greater than plus or minus 10% indicates that the capacitor must be replaced. If you do not have a capacitance meter, you can perform a test by replacing the capacitor with another of the same value and equal or higher voltage. A defective capacitor can cause the motor to not start or to operate with low efficiency. D. If the fault is still not identified, measure again the resistances between the pairs of motor wires. No measurement should be 0 or infinity, as this would indicate a short circuit or an open circuit. In addition, the relationships between resistances must be consistent, confirming the integrity of the windings. F. If the motor operates when powered directly but does not run in the equipment, check the relay on the electronic control board. This component is responsible for supplying power to the motor. Inspect both the relay coil and contacts, checking continuity and operation. You can energize the relay's coil with the appropriate voltage to verify if contact switching occurs. If the relay does not activate or its contacts are damaged, the motor will not receive power. It is also important to verify that the electronic board is sending the correct signal to the relay and that no damaged traces or components are present. By following this procedure, it is possible to correctly identify, connect, and diagnose multi-speed fan motors even in the absence of their electrical diagram, ensuring precise and reliable technical intervention.